Our ministries are possible because of the gifts that we share with the congregation. For those in the lower level of the sanctuary, gifts can be made using the offering baskets. If you are the one closest to the center aisle in your pew, please take the offering basket and begin passing it down your pew. For those in the balcony, offering boxes are available at the bottom of the stairs. And if you are joining us online, there is a link to give beneath the video. I'm Christian Schulte. My wife and I and our 3 children have been attending here for about 10 years or so. Currently, I serve on your board of trustees, which is what they sentence you to for the crime of taking the continued existence of the church for granted. When I was born in 1967, I have read that 91% of the population identified confidently as devout Christians. My dad tells me that when he and my mom, both pretty ex-Catholic at that point, moved to Cape Girardeau, Missouri for my dad's new job, he was routinely asked when he was introduced around, where do you go to church? Not, do you go to church, but where do you go to church? We're Catholic, he lied. The source of that 91% statistic tells me that by 2022, this number is 64% instead of 91. And maybe more important than this self-identification, such things as time spent in prayer, church attendance, and rating the importance of religion suggest that there is no fifth great awakening coming around anytime soon. Even if the rate of decline in religious participation seems to be tapering off. So we know that churches are struggling and closing all over the place. To someone of no particular religious conviction, this may not seem to matter much, but a pastor named Mark Elsden edited a book called Gone for Good, in which he noted that even today, there are far more visits to churches for community services than for what people think of as traditional religious experiences. So really, the building itself matters, even if the religion didn't. And I believe the religion does matter. The church isn't just a community center. It's not a social justice club that just happens to meet on Sundays. It's a faith family, and my family has found a community here that has sustained us in many ways, and I believe my kids' lives have been greatly enriched by participating in, and even, imagine this, contemplating things bigger than themselves. So I'm asking you to help fund what I think is an important experiment. Looking around me, I see basically 2 strategies church communities are using to maintain and grow their churches. There are churches that use guilt and fear of damnation to hold their communities together, with a mix of sheltering their children from the outside world as much as they can. Now, while I believe contemplation of sin is actually a healthy thing when done right, this stuff is like adding water to quickcrete. Adding too much makes it easier to pour into the shape you want, but the result is brittle, weak, prone to crack. In short, not a solid foundation. We're trying something different here. In the kids' book, Bridge to Terabithia by Catherine Paterson, and I'll warn you, it's a Newbery Award-winning book, which means there's a high chance that some main child character dies in it. A girl from a non-religious family moves to town and befriends a local boy, and in one passage, she kind of invites herself to go to church with his family one day. And on the way back, she's all excited about the Jesus thing. But her friend and his little sister have grown up in this church, talk about how awful it is, and it's because we're vile sinners and Jesus was killed as a sacrifice. And she's kind of puzzled at the reaction, and she says, "You have to believe it, and you hate it. I don't have to, and I think it's beautiful." That's what we're trying here, which I think is actually a little harder in the long run, but if it succeeds, I think the foundation is stronger. And the experiment I'm asking you to join here is to see which of these approaches will work. I'm asking you to fund our approach by funding our part of the experiment, keeping this laboratory open, and do that, and I think you're helping something beautiful. Thank you for helping sustain our mission to be a faith community where we are rooted in God's love, nourished on our spiritual journeys, and growing as an inclusive Christian presence in Greeley and beyond. Thank you.